Hello friends, in today's video we are going to be talking about where to find high-paying gigs. So if you are excited to learn a lot, then keep watching this video and let's get started. First off, for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name's Allison. Welcome to the channel. So happy to meet you. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back to the channel. And a little bit about me. I am a violinist. I have an event music company that I founded, and also Musicians Blueprint, which is a community of musicians who share best practices in order to book more well-paid gigs. So I make these videos because I know that there are a lot of musicians out there who feel a little alone and sometimes a tad bit lost on their journey as a performance musician, and I do not want you to be one of them. So if you'd like to journey along together, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for more weekly content, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. Now, the topic of today's video, where to find high-paying gigs, is actually inspired by you guys from the amazing comments I received on my video last week, which you can check out if you haven't seen already, linked somewhere in this video here. And basically, in a nutshell, what we discuss in that video is the importance of musicians to have sales skills in order to book more well-paid private event gigs as opposed to lower-paid bar and restaurant gigs. And we broke down several sales skills that are important to develop for musicians, but the one that I received the most comments and questions about was the skill of filling your pipeline, meaning how do we get a steady stream of leads, people inquiring about our service, in order to know that we can have people converting on the other side and filling our calendar. So that's what I want to dive into more in today's video is actually how to fill your pipeline with leads, where to find these high-paying gigs, what are the lead sources, how to go about this all together. So I am really just going to completely pull back the curtain and show you exactly what I am doing myself, what I see other musicians doing as well in terms of where they are finding these high-paying gigs, what the lead sources are in order to get those bookings on their calendar, so that it can be something that's useful for you to pursue more in the future as well. If you stay till the end of the video, I'm also going to be breaking down exact percentages of what the different conversion rates are from these different lead sources, so you have an excellent idea of what to expect for yourself as you're pursuing these different sources for yourself. Now, first off, I want to start by sharing that I definitely believe in having a diversified source of leads coming in. This means that we're not just always relying on one source of traffic to bring us the leads we need, but we have different places where we have leads coming from. And this can give a lot of security in kind of knowing that the leads will come in, especially when you know how these different avenues work. Now, I want to now kind of branch into showing the overarching picture of what this looks like. There are two main categories, broadly speaking, when it comes to where to find high-paying gigs in terms of the lead source. And one I like to describe as evergreen organic, and the second broad category I like to just describe as paid advertising. Now, depending where you're coming from, maybe some of you have some experience in one or the other or both, that's all great. Now, when it comes to evergreen organic sources, the first thing I want you to picture is a snowball that, is rolling and down a hill. Okay, first it's going slowly, but then it gets bigger, faster at an exponential rate. And this is what I want you to think about when you're thinking about evergreen organic lead generation. It's the type of thing that maybe grows slowly, that you don't see results for right away, but it has its own momentum that continues to carry through time even when you're not actively managing anything, which is why if I were to pick a favorite, having organic strategies in terms of where your leads are coming from is my absolute favorite and what I would recommend for everyone. So there are two categories, broadly speaking, when it comes to this source of traffic. Number one is referrals, word of mouth, people recommending you, and number two is getting found in search results. Let's start with referrals here. So what this means is essentially people who are cross industries from you sending leads directly to you. Now, you may be thinking like, hey, Allison, that sounds like it'd be random. Is that really a strategy? Like, doesn't that just happen, not very often? You don't really want to count on it. Well, the truth is that over 40% of my leads come from referrals, and this is what I would count on as being really a pillar lead generation strategy once you get it going. So no, it's definitely not something that's just random that you can't count on and that you can't have a strategy for. You absolutely can build a strategy for this lead generation source. Now, since we've set that aside, let's talk about the actual pros and cons of setting this up for yourself. Well, pros is number one, we have leads that are pretty much pre-sold, super excited to book you, being sent directly to you. The difference is astronomical between that and someone who's kind of half interested, just looking for a quote on a booking website or something like that, as opposed to someone who's recommended you. Obviously, you can see there's a huge difference in terms of the lead quality here. And I can attest to that these leads convert extremely well, usually around 60%. Another huge plus to this lead generation method, like we talked about in our overview in organic, is that it continues to grow over time. Because you can think about it naturally, the more you continue to do great work, the more that people find out about you and you implement referral building strategies, the more it will evolve and grow over time and continue to carry its own weight. So what is the downside of this lead generation method? Well, it does require some upfront work. It does not generate results immediately, and it does require talking to people. Yikes. Now moving on to the second place, organically, to find high paying gigs, and it's more like them finding us because we're talking about search results. Now, first off, I think we all know what search results are. We go to Google, we type in something that we need to find, or a problem we're trying to solve, or something we're looking to buy, and then results populate. And we go onto those websites, and then if it's a great fit, we buy. So I think it's not a stretch of the imagination to understand how this is a great way to generate leads for music services and event music specifically, because we have people actively looking for our services every single day, and I can attest to that. So with that said, what are some of the major pros that come with this lead generation strategy? Well, number one, I would say, is that we have an opportunity to really differentiate ourselves. Now, with the website, we can obviously completely tailor the experience and be differentiated from all our competitors by what we put on our website and how we show our value. And this is a great tool for educating and nurturing leads to make them become super fans before they even inquire, and obviously make them understand what you do and the value that you provide. So that's obviously a huge plus to leads generated through search. Another huge plus is that they are obviously very intentional people that are actively trying to solve a problem right now, and went through the steps to actually inquire from you. So there is a very high conversion rate, again, when it comes to these type of leads. In my experience, somewhere between 50 and 60% again, which is very good. Now, this all sounds wonderful and good. What's the downside? There's always a downside, my friends. The downside is we need to make a website. Enough said. I know a website is daunting for a lot of musicians. People say, I'm not technical, or whatever it is. Maybe some of you have a website and it's not working. Maybe it needs to be optimized so that it can actually get found in search and some tweaks can be made. In any case, it is worth putting in the time and effort, either yourself or to hire someone to make it sure that this asset is working really well for you. And that's why in Musician's Blueprint, we like to take the heavy lifting away from our musicians who are stuck in this position with the tools and templates they need to make sure that they're optimized and ready to go in as least resistance as possible. But that's another story for another day. Now, let's talk about finding high-paying gigs through paid methods. So paid methods, we're talking about any system where we put $1 in the hopes of getting 5 or 10 out on the other side. Now, there's lots of different platforms and avenues we can take if we're pursuing this method. But with that said, let's dive into some different categories. Again, there are almost endless options of how to do this. So I just want to share with you what I've seen, what I've done, and what I know actually works when done correctly. So with that said, let's start with the most well-known category that I'm sure a lot of you are even using yourself, and this is affiliate listing sites. Now, when I'm talking about affiliate listing sites, I'm talking about online marketplaces where musicians can list their services, and then leads can go to these websites and kind of shop around and get a few inquiries and quotes from the marketplace. Things like Gig Salad, The Bash, Wedding Wire, The Knot, Thumbtack. These are all examples of these affiliate sites. Now, let's start with the pros, okay? So what are the pros? It's relatively simple to set up, okay? It's the websites. You're not building a website from scratch or anything. You just make a profile, fill in the blanks, upload your music and bio and whatever, and bam, you're pretty much good to go after you pay your yearly membership. Now, with that said, it's really simple to maintain, and the results, again, another benefit is that we can expect to get leads pretty regularly and in a short time frame. Now, what are the cons of using affiliate sites? Again, broadly speaking, because we are in a marketplace that is, putting us right next to our competitors, and people have a million options, there often is a big culture of price shopping on these platforms. So with that said, there's features even that leads can just send out a broadcast message to a bunch of different people without even like listening to their music just to get a quote. So it's really a price shopping atmosphere for the musicians. So this is why a lot of musicians who are only in these worlds on these affiliate sites think that they just can't charge appropriately for their services, because this is the only thing that they ever encounter is just this huge price shopping sort of culture that's on these sites. So with that said, that's definitely a downside, but I want to caveat that by saying that I know musicians who actually use these sites to book well-paid gigs, so it's just a matter of ignoring the noise and just paying attention to the leads who actually are high quality. But with that said, everyone's going to experience a lot of low quality leads on these sites. I do not personally use a lot of affiliate sites, but I've tested them before. I don't like to pay for them or anything like that, but I see around 10% conversion rate, and that's generally what I see with other musicians as well, which means that it's fine, you can still get some good leads from that 10%, but you just spend a lot of time on the other leads. So again, this is a great easy option for generating leads that is available. If you didn't know about it, there you go. Okay, moving on to the final segment of where we can find high-paying gigs. This can be done also through social media campaigns. Now, when we're talking about social media campaigns, I want you to think about Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Now, of course, there are other platforms that we can advertise on, like Google and YouTube, but again, I'm just talking about what I actively do and have seen other musicians do successfully as well. I'm not saying that there are no other platforms that can work or that will be developed in the future that can work. Again, like I said before, the offer is king, and well-differentiated and presented offer is really going to work no matter where you place it. But with that said, I want to share with you a little bit about what I've discovered running Instagram ads and Facebook ads and such for myself and others, and really what the pros and cons are in case you want to look into doing this for yourself too. When it comes to the pros, really one of the biggest benefits we're going to get from this method of generating leads is that it is extremely controllable. What I mean by this is once we understand the mechanics and the gears of how it works, we can know exactly how much to spend to get how many leads, to get how many clients. And having this understanding and control really does give you that ability to fill your pipeline as much as you'd like and fill your calendar as much as you like in a sense. And that is really a nice sense for a lot of musicians to be able to understand these things for themselves. Now, with that said, that is a huge benefit. Another huge benefit is also that we can really customize the experience that we're bringing our leads through. So as opposed to kind of the easier route of setting up an affiliate site, which again, I'm not downing at all. If it's working for you, I want to celebrate with you, and that's fantastic. But again, with, sometimes greater costs come greater rewards, and it's a little simpler to set things up on affiliate listing site than it is to set things up for a social media campaign. There's a little bit more to it. I would say maybe a lot more to it, a lot more variables, things you need to learn about. Now, that's definitely a benefit though, because you can create an experience that differentiates you, that you're not being set right next to your competitors as you're doing it. Now, what are the cons? Now, really these go hand in hand with the benefits I talked about, because with the greater amount of control and the ability to be differentiated also comes that risk of, if you don't set things up right or don't know what you're doing, then you actually risk losing money as you're advertising instead of making money. So with the greater power comes greater responsibility here. So that is definitely a downside of this method of generating leads, is the greater risk. The other downside is just the need for maintenance. Really, if you're going to dive into this method of finding high quality leads to fill your calendar, you need to have the analytical mind to be able to watch it and learn from it and adjust as needed on really a daily basis, just checking in, making sure that all your numbers are running correctly. Alrighty, so that completes our summary here of how you can fill your pipeline, where you can find high-paying gigs, private event gigs to fill your calendar. I hope that you gained some value from this video, and like I promised, I want to show you an image. I'll put it on the screen right now, right over here, of exactly where my leads are coming from, like we've talked about here, so you can see it and approximately what that conversion rate is. So as you can see right here for myself, my actual clients are pretty much equally from search result and referral lists, and then we have the social media campaign making up almost a third and affiliate being a small result. And if I actually do the math on that there, the conversion rate for the affiliate site, like I mentioned, was around 10%, social media around 30%, and around 50% to 60% for referral and search results. So again, we're talking about real things that have actually been measured here, so I hope that was just extra valuable for you to understand, and maybe even made you a little bit more excited to start with some of the methods to start getting higher quality leads for yourself, so you can spend more time on the work you love and less time on the clients who are kicking tires. Now I know that we're just all getting to know each other here, but I've had a few questions about it already, so I thought I'd take a brief moment just to share with you all a little bit more about what the Musicians Blueprint community actually is, so you know what to do if you want to learn more about it, or perhaps even see if you'd like to potentially join in the future. Now, in a nutshell, what the Musicians Blueprint community is a place where we implement best practices to book more well-paid gigs and really be appreciated for your expertise, all while minimizing the downside of management and chaos that comes with running an event music business. Now, the musicians that we work with are, first of all, really good at what they do. They're getting great response when they do perform live, and they're already booking gigs and somewhere in the 5-figure range. And they're looking to go full-time, or at least make private events a larger part of what they are doing as a musician, or they already are full-time in performance business and are looking to get to that next level. Now, things that we've touched on in this video, like how to fill your pipeline, is definitely a focus of what we do together in the program as we're implementing strategies, but we really do take a holistic approach to make sure a musician gets everything they need in order to be successful with their music. The principles we really hold to within Musicians Blueprint are pursuing excellence together and community, and not every musician is the right fit, and that's totally okay, but for those that are interested in finding out, I do have a link attached in the description of this video below. You can definitely click on that link, schedule a chat with me. I'd be happy to tell you more, map out any strategy I can with you, and see if this program might be the best fit to help you get there, and if not, that's totally fine, but I'd love to meet you in any case, so definitely feel free to use that link below. If you're watching this video in the future and the link is no longer there, then definitely go to musiciansblueprint.com and you can find a way to get in touch with someone there, but for now, definitely feel free to book a call in the link below. I'm looking forward to chatting with you there, and that's it. That's all I have for today. It's been delightful spending some time with you here. Thank you so much for your attention. I am looking forward to speaking with you all next week. Have a good one and talk to you soon.